So first up, we're dealing with the biggie, finding and booking your wedding venue. It's typically the element that costs the biggest part of the budget and dictates the style and shape of the rest of your wedding plans. So it's important to get it right from the outset. I'm joined on stage by 3 venue experts to discuss what sort of questions you should be asking and the considerations you should make when you're shortlisting and visiting potential venues. So I'll run through them. I've got Laura, events manager at Crossbasket Castle, just outside of Glasgow. It's one of Scotland's most sought-after 5-star luxury venues. Laura has built a reputation for curating exceptional weddings for couples that are tailored to their personal style. Next along we have Malin Stewart. She's events manager at Dougarie Boathouse. She's got years of hands-on experience building and managing the gorgeous blank canvas waterfront venue on the Isle of Arran. And last but by no means least, we have Sharon. She is group weddings manager at Manorview. She leads the wedding team across Manorview's 8 venues and brings a wealth of experience, having been in the wedding industry for 11 years.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Where does the time go? Manorview own and run 8 boutique hotels and all-inclusive wedding venues throughout central Scotland, each with their own style and personality that we'll hear more about in due course. So I'd like to ask you all the same question initially, starting with you first of all, Laura, at Crossbasket. For couples who've just got engaged and are about to start booking their venue visits, what's the number one question they should be asking, or what should they have in mind before they even start approaching venues?
I think it's important for them to have in mind what their dream wedding day looks like. So if they can envision where that would be, what the backdrop would look like, what's important to them in terms of, is it entertainment, is it food, is it guests having a nice time, is it the photographs, what would make their perfect wedding day, and then that will allow them to then shortlist some venues that fit into that category and that vision. And then I think when getting in touch with venues, it's important to know more logistical things, numbers, maximum capacities, how far it might be for guests to travel, how easy it is to get there. Accessibility might be a big thing. Another question that we get asked quite a lot is, are you dog friendly?
Of course.
So yeah.
Do you even get married if the pup wasn't there?
Exactly, they're part of the family, aren't they? So so all these things it's good to have in mind, so that you know when you're going to your venue the important things that are for, well, what's important to you, and to make sure that your venue is going to tick all those boxes.
And what about you, Malin? What advice would you have in the similar lines before they start approaching?
A lot what Laura said, it's, having your dream wedding, having your vision. And if you don't have that, that's absolutely fine. But if you at least want to know how involved you want to be in your wedding, if you want to have a package or more, outsource your suppliers independently, with the help of us, of course, because we are kind of a destination wedding. So I would, that would be my number one, I would say.
Sharon, what about you? What would be your kick-off advice for couples?
Probably very similar, to be honest. You've covered kind of most of the key questions there. I think as well, for us, we like to find out what their non-negotiable is. So is there something that their venue must have or must not have? Kind of finding that out as well, and just making sure that we can tailor what they're wanting. And I think as well, just remembering that no question is silly. Like we get a lot of grooms say, what draft have you got? Like things like that. Top priorities, I think, non-negotiables.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'll move back to you, Laura. So do you want to tell us a wee bit about Crossbasket Castle? What makes it such a special place to get married?
Yes, so we are a 17th century castle that was rescued from ruin and sensitively and lovingly restored into an exclusive use wedding venue. So we can host weddings for up to 250 guests. We're based just outside of Glasgow, so about 25 minutes from here, the SEC, and we can also accommodate guests on site to stay over with us as well. We're a 5-star venue. We're affiliated with Chef Michel Roux, so he oversees and looks after all of our beautiful menus. So food is a big one for us, for sure. And we've got a brand new hotel, and we're building a spa that should open in September of this year as well.
Fantastic, that's so exciting. What does a typical timeline look like for couples? I mean, I know I appreciate people book 3 years out, some people book under a year out, but what are the sort of key touch points for you when a couple
So as soon as a couple books with us, we'll get in touch with them and let them know how the journey would look for them for their planning, just so that they know when to expect communication from us. We do encourage couples to come stay with us. We had a few couples come in and stay with us last night for Valentine's Day,
Lovely.
which is nice to see. And then we'll arrange a menu tasting for them around 3 months before the wedding, which is we'll try and do a bit of a catch-up meeting at that point as well, just to see how they're getting on, so that they're ready to finalise all the details with us 6 months prior. So it really does depend how far out they're booking. We'll invite them along to our wedding fairs and regular events that we host at the castle, just to keep in touch.
Brilliant. What are the key questions you would say they should be asking from the outset once they're on their first venue visit with you? What kind of questions should they be asking you?
Anything that they feel is important to them, to make sure that we have it. So in terms of menus, it can be cater for dietary requirements. Are the menus flexible at all? A lot of people maybe have something specific that they quite like to add in. If they've been on a holiday somewhere and had a nice dish, can we add that in, or can we source a specific wine, something like that, to make it their own? So things like that, if that's important to them. Dog friendly, I mentioned. Things like suppliers. So what time can suppliers access the venue to come in and get set up in the day? Do we supply a supplier meal so that they have something to eat if they're here for a long time throughout the day? And how the accommodation might work. So how do their guests book? Do we offer discounted rates? That sort of thing. So they've got an overall feel. Once the invitations go out, a lot of guests will then be asking the couple questions, and they want to have the answers to those. So we can help with the answers to those as well.
And is there anything that you find like couples get wrong-footed by, or things that they forget that later become important? They forget to ask you or consider? We're quite forthcoming with information and giving that to them, to make sure that there isn't anything that they forget. There's no hidden costs in our brochure or anything like that, so we all include VAT. There's no service charge or anything, so we are very transparent with the costings, so that it allows them to fit that into their overall budget, because there's a lot to think about, of course. We've got a list of recommended suppliers as well, so that is quite a good prompt to see what suppliers you will need on top of what the venue provides, and other things to think about. We've had in the past a few last minute submissions of the marriage certificate. So we'd always just pop that in there as well, to make sure that they are on top of the legal side of things, as well as the aesthetics and the rest of it. Yeah. Brilliant. And we'll move on to you, Malin, at Dougarie Boathouse. Do you want to tell us a bit about the venue?
So Dougarie Boathouse is a listed building that was built for Duke of Hamilton for his entertainment house. So he hosted ceilidhs, and he obviously stored his boats on the estate. So Dougarie Boathouse is part of the Dougarie Estate, which is a sporting estate on the west coast of Arran, about 2 hours away from central Glasgow, I would say. So just short drive and then a ferry journey over.
And it's a sort of, it is blank canvas. I know you offer packages as well. On the blank canvas side, it can feel possibly for some couples overwhelming, but what do you think they should be asking you to make sure they're making the right decision choosing a blank canvas style venue?
So I would suggest they would have in mind, of course, what kind of wedding, how much they want to be involved in everything, and also how much. Luckily, with the boathouse, you don't need much in terms of decorations. That could be one thing. Bring it over from Glasgow or the mainland, England, America, how you want it to look. We do have loads of suppliers on the island, which is great. But yeah, again, just more creativity and how they like it to look.
Do you think the couple do need to be quite creative when it comes to a blank canvas wedding?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know you're an expert in creation as well, so if they're sure if short of ideas, then
I love to give them ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. What sort of practical questions do you think they should be asking you? Like, I'm thinking about things like suppliers, logistics, set-up times, and then on the day, like, who's responsible for keeping things running along?
So I'm always there on the day, control freak, so I'm there from morning to fast dance, and then I'm away. So I'm always there. So again, it's more logistics because where we are, it's more logistics in terms of transport, suppliers, setup times, breakdown times, accommodation, those kind of less glamorous questions. Yeah, the more practical ones.
I suppose being an island venue as well, the Calmac ferries are big.
Oh, they're great.
What can be a bone of contention?
Yes, I mean, I get the questions at every viewing.
Yeah.
But, touch wood, haven't ruined one wedding yet. So.
Haven't had stranded newlyweds.
So,
an extended
or
honeymoon on
weddings.
the island.
Well, yeah, but not for the weddings, so fingers crossed.
Then in terms of your style of venue, what are some questions you think that perhaps get overlooked in the planning process?
I would say again, kind of less, a bit boring question is the transportation of the guests from the different parts of the island over to the venue. But then again, I always let them know that that's kind of what they need to organise anyway.
Brilliant. I know. I suppose there's no Uber on Arran that I know of.
There's no Ubers, there's plenty of taxi drivers.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Dougarie?
Just mentioning again that we are finishing the renovations of the big High
Exciting.
Dougarie farmhouse. So that will be another accommodation that we can use for the boathouse, which is great because we've not used that before. So it's situated up top of a hill overlooking the Kilbrannan Sound and the boathouse. So that's exciting.
So is that scheduled for later this year? Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
April.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're nearly getting there. So me and Joyce have been shopping quite a lot for the.
Finishing it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
all the
been-
interior design.
Yes,
lovely.
it's been great.
How many people is that going to be able to sleep?
10.
Okay,
10.
great.
Yeah, and then eventually we'll renovate the big White Lodge as well, but I think that will take another few years.
Watch this space.
Yes.
Sharon, I'll move on to you. So, do you want to give us an overview of some of Manorview's venues? You've got a lot. You've got something for everyone, really, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, style of venue for everyone, really. So, yeah, collection of 8 wedding venues. Everything from kind of baronial mansion at Macaulay's House to the castle that we've got at Cornhill. I can go through them alphabetically, and that's how I process them. So we've got Macaulay's House in Bearsden, Glasgow. I'm going to miss one. Bowfield, so you've got your rustic kind of barn-style venue,
style, yeah.
which is kind of a bit on trend at the moment. Couples really loving that venue. That's in Howwood. Then we've got Brisbane House, so that's our Largs venue, right on the seafront, which is beautiful.
Beautifully renovated as well.
Yes,
Gorgeous.
again,
Honeymoon
amazing.
suite.
I know everyone talks about the honeymoon
I
suite.
mean, all your honeymoon suites, but
like
yeah.
one TikTok and it just goes nuts. It's mad. And then we've got the Busby Hotel, which is our beautiful hotel that we've got in Clarkston. Cornhill Castle, as I'd mentioned. Then we've got Lyndhurst Hotel, beautiful grounds, quite glam. And we have got the Redhurst Hotel with the garden house. And then we've got our party venue, the Torrance, as well. Couples there like to party.
Do they?
Yes.
More so than other venues?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So all of our venues they've got their own different niche. Which
Right,
is
okay. Yeah. So when couples are viewing like a hotel or package-led venue within a group like yours, what are some of the benefits they might not have thought about immediately?
I would say probably the all-inclusive packages that we have.
Yeah.
Like a lot of couples, probably the majority of the couples love the fact that we've got partnered suppliers and we take care of booking all that for them. They go, they get a consultation and it's just all taken care of for them. Like a lot of the couples love the fact that that's just all off their to-do
turn
list.
up.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
like
they can
that, yeah.
just arrive in the morning knowing that it's all kind of taken care of for them. Everything from DJ to the cake, the florals, it's all there.
Brilliant. And then when couples are out viewing venues, say they're planning to see more than one in a weekend, how do you think they can compare them fairly? Or is there a sort of certain approach they could take?
I think they need to try and go into each venue with an open mind, and like I always kind of try and say to couples not to overload their weekends.
Yeah, don't go and see too many.
Yeah,
basically.
I think because especially if they're quite open to like what their vibe or vision is, I feel like if they go to too many venues, especially different styles of venues in the one weekend, it will definitely overwhelm them.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe try and minimise it to 2 and maybe have them maybe quite separate looking venues so they can remember kind of what they liked and what they didn't like about certain venues for sure.
Yeah. And I know Manorview has introduced sort of the venue viewing days where the venues are set up as they are.
Yeah, so we've got inspiration decor is what we call it. So each venue has got its own style. Every couple that comes to view the venues will see the venue dressed like that, unless there's a wedding on where we can't do it like that. We also do inspiration days. So these are for our couples who are already booked a Manorview venue. We have the room all styled, and we have our recommended suppliers, and that's by invite only for all of our couples to come. So we're having a nice kind of cocktails, canopies, prosecco, a nice day for our actual already booked couples. And the viewing days are for new couples who are looking to seek out their venue.
What sort of questions should they be asking at the viewing days if they're at the start of the journey? Make sure they're picking the right venue for them.
I think just probably quite similar from what we said at the start. Just making sure they know about their numbers, accommodation, what restrictions, if anything, that we may have, like livestock, like that kind of thing. Like, yeah,
I know the Highland cows are here somewhere.
Like anything from livestock to what can they do, what can they not do, fireworks, confetti, that kind of thing. It is important to the couple, so it's important that they know.
Yeah. And what's the sort of typical timeline at Manorview venues? Again, it depends when they book, but...
Yeah, it's very varied. I mean, we've had couples who've booked for May this year, so you're kind of getting them in quite quick to find out what their plans are. But we have Facebook groups for all of our couples.
Oh, brilliant.
So all of our venues have their own closed Facebook group. There's no suppliers or anything on there, it's just purely couples. We encourage our wedding sales team to engage on those Facebook groups with frequently asked questions and that kind of thing, so it kind of keeps the couples in the know. We get them in about 9 months before the wedding, and we do a full planning appointment with them. The wedding planners are there throughout the full journey, from right up to the kind of final planning stages, and then the wedding managers will actually kind of do the day.
Amazing. It's so useful having like a solid point of contact at a venue as well. It's so reassuring.
It's that confidence, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything you kind of find that couples might overlook or forget about until the last minute, and then...
I don't know about the other venues, but I find that sometimes couples, when they're giving you their numbers, they forget to include themselves. Yeah. So yeah, they do that.
They'll get to a McDonald's for two delivered and not to order their own wedding meal.
So you're kind of adding up their numbers, and you're like, okay, you've not included yourself for the meal. But yeah, I think just kind of similar to what the other guys had said, just most overlooked is, for me, probably their numbers.
Yeah. Does anyone get anything else they'd like to add? Any last minute nuggets of wisdom that we haven't covered? No? Does anyone get any questions they'd like to ask the ladies here? No? Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your wisdom and insight with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.